the photo for today. I'm just going to do a video podcast for simplicity's sake. So I went to the Christmas stroll tonight with my sister, Emma. She's in town visiting for the weekend. And I didn't even know that the Christmas stroll was tonight, but apparently it was. So we went down and got rained on and found hot cider and cookies. It was kind of fun. And we also found this sweet diorama train set thing. It was like entire shop window, had a train going around, had like ice skaters, this little street thing. I don't know, maybe it's supposed to be Bozeman. Who knows? Anyway, I had just my 70 with the 50mm. I didn't have any other lenses or anything else, so I was like, I should take a picture of this, but how should I take a picture of it? Well, there was a straight down view that was kind of meh. It's okay. And then the train and the motion, I thought, there could be something cool with, something cool with that going on. At first I tried this angle, and then panning with the train to try to get the train sharp, and then the background blurred. I thought that might be kind of cool. However, there were like 5 million people wanting to look at it, the diorama thing, and so I couldn't take too long trying to get a pretty picture. So instead, what I did is set a very slow shutter speed to get a proper exposure, and then focused on these guys right here, and then waited until the train came around, and right when it came into view I hit the shutter, and since it was going so fast, it exposed there. But I think that works really well. That's right on one of the third lines along with this tree, and the other third line goes right here, which is good, and then those guys are right on the third, and then that's right on the third, and then where else would you look? Right there at that really freaking creepy owl thing on the roof that I have no idea what it is, but it's creepy. It's staring at me. Stop staring at me. So I'll reset this guy and then show you how I edited it. Okay, so we went from that to that. Much, much different. So this one, this is the original. As you can see, not the best lighting. This was under tungsten lights, I presume, or probably a variety of lights, just in the shop window. So normally when you look at a photo like this, you're so used to seeing photos like this, you're like, okay, it's kind of cool. You wouldn't really notice that it was exceptionally off color balanced. So what I did to balance the color, got this little dropper tool, and I was like, where is it? Something that's supposed to be white, so maybe something like that. Yeah, there we go. So now that shade right there, which is a brighter neutral color, is now white. So we're all color balanced for the most part. It's pretty good. If I could, in a perfect world, I would have shot with like a white balance card or something like that, so I could actually set my white balance specifically for those lighting conditions. But I didn't have that, and I was in a rush, so this works. That's what that tool's for. So next, I tried that new editing technique. So highlights all the way down, shadows all the way up, and you're like, what is this? This is ugly. Histogram definitely says it looks ugly. Got tons and tons of information in the midtones, but we have no blacks and no whites, and not a lot of shadows either. So it's just kind of not even that many highlights. It's very uncontrasted. So to get that back, we're going to hold down Option, then we're going to slide this to the right. So that's the headlamp of the train, so that's already white. So there we go. See that? Those pixels are now white. So right there, and now our white is set, so we have white up here. And then we do the same with black. So hold Option, go down, 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 down. There we go. Back it off a little bit. And we're good. Got more contrast back. Got darks. We just spread that right over the entire range. Then the colors are a little bit busy. So we're going to up the vibrance a little bit. And then we're going to lower saturation. So what does that do? So vibrance mostly saturates your greens and blues. It's going to leave a lot of the skin tones alone, so like your oranges and yellows. And that just, it helps with like portraits if you're trying to have more color in it but not alter the person's skin tone. It also helps here. It selectively increases the like richer colors while leaving some of the like the skin tones on these little mannequins and some of that stuff alone. I just think it creates kind of an interesting, desaturated but still very colorful image, if that makes sense. So the next thing that we did was I'm going to brighten up this area, and then the people. So we go into the brush, set that at 0.8, and the highlights up a bit, a little more. Then we'll just go like this, and maybe like that. There's too much there. So we'll just go, and then maybe go down a little bit. Okay, it's good enough. Then we'll make a new one. Reset that, bring that down, hit that, bump the clarity up just a little bit, right, and yeah, that looks pretty good. So without, with, just to brighten up those areas of interest. What did I do next? Next, I wanted to adjust the clarity to have more mid-tone contrast. Just add a little bit of punch, but it's like, it darkens it too much. So what I did, went to my tone curve, so grabbed about here, brightened that a little bit, but then brought the shadows and those mid-tones back down. So it adds a little bit of contrast, a little bit of brighter areas, but it doesn't have the same, quite the same effect as just straight up the clarity slider does. The clarity slider would move these equal amounts, and this I moved more than this. I left this almost exactly the same. So really, it's only affecting the highlights and just a little bit of the blacks. I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but this is just barely below the center line. And finally, we'll go into the detail. And just add a little bit of noise reduction. And then go 100 minus 25 is 75. A little bit of sharpening. I don't know if you can see that at all. It'll probably help for the web, since it'll be a compressed file. And we're good. So that's the one I just re-edited. This one is the original, if it will load. But that's basically the editing process I went through with this photo. It was, in general, just color correcting, then getting as much detail as I could. Then it was readjusting my contrast so I'd have whites and blacks, and then it was selectively doing some adjustments, some brightening, and then finally readjusting the tone curve a little bit and noise reduction and sharpening. That's about it. That's generally kind of how my workflow goes. You know, there'll be compositing and some other stuff in there occasionally, but in general, that's my workflow.